Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the video. I'm JP and this is Good Talk HQ. In today's episode, we'll take another look at some of the best deals that you can find on the eShop right now, all for under $5. The sales are fantastic once again this week and I love having my Switch. A special thank you to our community for helping us reach 2,000 subscribers. You all are amazing, thank you so much. And if you're new here, please consider joining our extended family. We cover Nintendo Switch content weekly and we'd love to welcome you as well. Either way though, we hope you enjoy the video. Alright, first we have Black Paradox. This is an arcade-style fast-paced 2D shooter from publisher Digerati, one of our favorites, and offers local couch co-op for 1 to 2 players. Now the game should take players roughly 5 to 6 hours to complete. In the game, players will travel through space as an infamous bounty hunter in an attempt to take down the biggest crime organization in the galaxy. The game features gorgeous animations and character models against a retro-style pixel art background that looks stunning on the Switch both while in docked and handheld modes. Players will also have access to more than 50 powerful weapons, which will come in handy against many of the 14+ bosses that you face throughout the game. If you're interested in Black Paradox, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on August 26th. It's marked down 70% to just $4.49, which is an all-time low. Next we have Pixel Gladiators. This is a single-player retro 2D wave-based shooter that will take players roughly 2 or 3 hours to complete. Now while the story is short, it's an amazing game still. You'll have to defend and upgrade your home base against waves of nasty creatures. The whole thing takes place on a galactic game show, and you've been chosen as one of the participants. Your only goal is to survive as long as possible as people cheer on your demise. There are loads of unique weapons and upgrades to find, and defense structures like turrets and traps that you can set up to defend your base. The boss battles were a particular highlight for us though. If you're interested in this one, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends on August 24th. It's currently marked down 72% to just $1.99, and it'll qualify you for the developer's secret sale. Alright, next we have Down in Bermuda. This is another single-player adventure-style RPG, this time from publisher Yak & Co., and the game will take roughly 2 or 3 hours to complete. Now this is a quirky adventure filled with puzzles to solve and mysteries to uncover. The story really doesn't take much time fleshing anything out, and just introduces us to Milton, a pilot who has crashed in Bermuda. Now along your journey, you'll have to solve the puzzles on each of the 6 different islands in order to hopefully find your way out of this strange place and back to your home. The game is full of charm and emotion. Even though the story is mostly just that opening few seconds, there's also hidden pictures throughout that will expand upon it a bit. I would definitely suggest playing this one in handheld with the touch controls, but if you would like to get it, Down in Bermuda is on sale until September 3rd for $3.99, marked down 80% to an all-time low. Next we have Firework. This is a retro 2D platformer from publisher Fantastico Studios and offers both single player and local co-op for 2 players with a story that will last roughly 3 or 4 hours. Fans of the Mega Man series should definitely give this one a shot. It may just be the hidden gem you're looking for. Players will make their way through the main facility of the fire troops. You'll jump, dash, and blast your way through several platforming challenges while extinguishing the flames and taking out the bad guys. There are even hidden power-ups and special item upgrades to be found for those willing to explore a bit. We covered this one on a stream a couple weeks ago and it's a lot of fun. If you're interested in Firework, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends on August 22nd. It's currently marked down 87% to just $1.99, which is an all-time low. Alright, next we have Hard West. This is a single-player adventure RPG from Forever Entertainment with a main story that should last players roughly 20 to 30 hours, making it a great deal for its current sale price. The game features a unique open world set in the Wild West, compelling turn-based combat with a wide array of weapons and upgrades, and a story that is affected by every decision you make throughout. Oh yeah, and some magic. See, this version of the Old West has magic, cults, and spells to go along with the standard weaponry. One really cool feature is the ability to ricochet bullets around obstacles by shooting at something metal. This game is wild and the story is amazing. If you're interested in Hard West, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on September 2nd. It's currently marked down 90% to an all-time low of just $1.99. Definitely worth checking out. Alright, next we have Monument. This is a single-player FPS adventure game from D Games and will take players roughly 5 to 10 hours to wrap up. Now this is an old school FPS featuring all of the classic hardcore gameplay you remember, huge hordes of monsters and enemies, a vast assortment of firepower, and a whole lot of action. The only goal of the game is to send all of the evil spirits to the grave. This game looks and runs great on the Switch, and it was a recommendation once again from one of our community members, so thank you as always. This game feels good to play. It's definitely a dark game, but if you're looking for a solid FPS, make sure to check out Monument before the sale ends on August 22nd. Right now, it's currently marked down 70% to an all-time low of just $2.10. Next we have Mechstermination Force. This is an arcade-style platform shooter from Horberg Productions and has a main story that should last players roughly 4 to 6 hours. The game also offers multiplayer action for 2 players and local couch co-op. In this game, players assume the role of one of the members of the Mechstermination Force and have to save the world from these giant mega mechs. We are humanity's last chance as a small group of willing soldiers ready to risk it all for the greater good. The game features epic boss battles, of course, but there are also special weapon upgrades, cool gear upgrades, and special items and more. The bosses are seriously as tall as a skyscraper sometimes, and they're truly fun to fight. If you're interested in this one, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends on August 26th. It's currently marked down 80% to just $239, an all-time low. Next we have Metaloid Origin. This is a single-player, fast-paced run-and-gun shooter from developer Retro Revolution with a main story that will last players roughly 4 or 5 hours. We take on the role of one of the 3 playable characters to dash or blast our way through the 9 different stages in an attempt to thwart the invading robot army. The game is often compared to Mega Man X or Metal Gal, and it does feel a lot like those titles. The controls are tight, the graphics and sound go well with the gameplay, and overall it's just a fun time, especially when on sale. There are some minor translation issues, but nothing that will break the immersion for those who only speak English. If you like these tough side-scrolling shooters, make sure to grab this one up before the sale ends on September 5th. It's marked down 50% to just $349, which is again an all-time low. Alright, next we have NeuroVoider. This is an adventure game from Plug-in Digital that offers solo and local couch co-op action and can take more than 7 hours to complete. NeuroVoider is a twin-stick shooter with RPG mechanics, which takes place in a cyber-futuristic world where players will battle through hordes of enemies in some of the most intense fights on the Switch. I believe someone actually counted and there are more than 8,500 unique enemies to blow up in this one, which is truly impressive. With loads of customizable upgrades and loot, this is a great value for you and some buddies or family members, and you can get NeuroVoider on sale marked down 70% to just $419 until August 23rd, which again is an all-time low. Just make sure you're ready for a challenge. Next we have 9 Parchments. This is a cooperative style shoot-'em-up RPG from the creators of the Doctrine series. The main story should last roughly 8 or 9 hours, with even more for completionists. In this one, you'll play as a group of runaway apprentice wizards, convinced they can complete their training on their own if they just find and collect the 9 Parchments. Now this is a beautiful game both in docked and handheld, and it runs great as well. There are loads of collectibles and upgrades to be found, spells to unlock and master, and fun to be had with a group of friends or family members. The game offers local and online play for up to 4 players, so if you're interested in this one, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends on August 27th. It's marked down to just $499, which is 75% off and an all-time low. Next we have Oniken the Unstoppable Edition. This is a single-player arcade-style platform fighter from Digerati, and the main story will last players roughly 5 or 6 hours. This is a great title that evokes that sense of nostalgia as soon as you boot it up. The soundtrack and graphics are both top-notch recreations of the look and sound from the 8-bit days. In fact, this game was inspired heavily by the challenging games of that era. The game offers 6 gauntlet-style stages where players will face off against enemies, traps, and tough bosses. You'll have the option to play the normal campaign or the boss rush mode if you just want to battle one of the nearly 20 bosses in the game. Oh yeah, and they also included a hard mode as if the game wasn't hard enough. If you think you're up to the challenge, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends on August 26th. It's currently marked down 70% to just $299. Next we have Pixboy. This is a retro 2D platformer from Forever Entertainment and will take players around 4 to 5 hours to finish up. This is an absolute retro arcade platformer stripped right out of the 90s. In fact, it looks, feels, and sounds just like a Game Boy game. The coolest part aside from the gameplay, of course, are the graphics. You can actually find and collect over 20 graphical skins, which will change from Game Boy to Commodore 64 and many more. The game offers more than 40 levels, hundreds of secret rooms, and of course some great platforming action. Make sure to give this one a serious look before the sale ends on September 2nd. It's marked down to just $199, which is 60% off and an all-time low. Alright, next we have Phantom Doctrine. This is a single-player strategy RPG from Forever Entertainment offering more than 50 hours of gameplay. This is an immersive story interweaving multiple historical events and characters to bring to life a reality of the harsh Cold War from a unique perspective. Featuring next-gen turn-based combat for flexible movement and actions, an expanded battlefield allowing players to call in reinforcement during battles, and again a 50-hour campaign, there is so much value here. It's currently available for 90% off, marked down to just $199 until September 2nd, which is an all-time low and a good reason to check it out. Alright, next we have Super Chariot. This is a charming and cute platform game for 1 or 2 players in local co-op and offers more than 20 hours of gameplay, all of which was designed specifically for the Nintendo Switch to be played either by yourself or with a friend. The unique feature in this one is that you'll have to carry along the wheeled coffin of the dead king throughout all of the 25 levels and 5 beautiful environments. The gameplay itself reminds me a lot of Yoku, just without the pinball mechanics. There are a few level types too, which was a nice change of pace from time to time, and the clever way they implemented the puzzles to make use of the cart is pretty fun to experience. If you're a fan of tough, challenging platformers or interested in this one, make sure to grab it up before September 2nd. It's marked down to $199, 87% off. Next we have They Bleed Pixels. This is a single-player 2D action platformer from Spooky Squid Games Incorporated and offers a main story that should last players roughly 12 to 15 hours. The story itself centers around a young female protagonist struggling with her inner demons. Now the gameplay does a great job of balancing acrobatic platforming with the simple one-button combat system. However, the game also rewards players for using more cleverly timed and precise attacks in rhythm with the beat of the soundtrack. See, if you do it right, the game gives you checkpoints that you can use like an item. This will give you the freedom to place them wherever you want during the levels. The game looks nice and feels amazing to play, it sounds great as well, and it's definitely a recommendation this week as it's currently on sale until September 2nd, marked down 87% to just $199. I think at that price it's worth checking out. Next we have Letter Quest Remastered. This is a single-player puzzle-style RPG from publisher Digerati with a main campaign that will last roughly 8 to 10 hours, potentially double that for completionists. This is a twist on the standard RPG genre, and rather than normal attacks and magic, you have to spell out words and each word will do damage based on how complex that word was. Now while that sounds simple, it's actually rather well built and the developers added modifiers to the letters you have. Sometimes the letter will do double damage or sometimes it will hurt you so you have to avoid it, and this mechanic really does add some strategic thinking into the game. Perhaps the most welcome feature is that there's no timer, ensuring that younger players or folks that get anxious trying to spell, that won't be a problem. Now I think this is a great idea overall. It's a fun game that also gives younger players a better understanding of the English language, so if you have younger family members or perhaps it looks good for yourself, make sure to grab it up before August 26th. It's marked down 75% to an all-time low of just $299. Next we have Urban Flow. This is a party-based arcade-type puzzle game for up to 4 players in local co-op. The game will take players roughly 7 to 8 hours to complete, depending heavily on how long each stage takes you to finish. The latter part of the game does get pretty hectic. Basically, you control the flow of traffic in over 100 levels, each progressively harder than the last. There is something satisfying about watching this game in action. All the cars and lights moving in harmony really can be fun to watch. If you played Conduct Together or Fly Together, this is a very similar game. Just make sure to control the flow of traffic and avoid accidents or mishaps, and you'll be fine. If you like these party-style puzzle games, make sure to check out Urban Flow while it's on sale until August 23rd, marked down 87% to just $199, and again, an all-time low. Alright folks, and here are some other games to check out while you're on the eShop, some series sales, and a kid-friendly game or two as well. Alright everyone, that's going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode. We truly appreciate you giving us a few minutes of your day, and we hope you enjoyed the video. If this was your first time here, please consider joining our extended family. We have a great community, they're very active, and they're all gamers. Not only that, but it will enter you into our eShop gift card giveaways that we do. All you have to do to enter is be sub to the channel, drop a like on the video, and leave me a comment on any of the eShop sales videos throughout the week so I can find you and put you on the current list. Either way though, we hope you enjoyed the video. Please stay safe out there. We'll let Little Man take us on home as always. Bye everyone.
That's all for today's list. We hope you liked the video. If you did, consider subscribing and liking down below. Okay, bye!